right? But again, the idea is that emotions are always present in investigations. We have the scientific method, which may filter out some idiosyncrasies of a particular person, but what they will never filter out, right, are generally accepted social values and observation, right? It will never change the way we understand or value studies being done by certain universities, right, over private citizens or, kids in a local science fair, right? It's always going to place a social value that is going to correlate expertise and authority to social standings, right? Similarly with scientific practice, right? If something is generally accepted in a scientific field, right, in how they engage in everyday life, that's not going to be covered by the scientific method because it will permeate every single aspect of an experiment, right? The control group as well as the variable in the test groups, right? Similarly with looking up a level in meta-science, like what we count as evidence for certain things, or the way we model certain facets of reality, right? So for example, we're going to see this is even going to come up in interesting biases in favor of certain views of multi-theory or M theory, multiverse theory, the idea that there are perhaps many different dimensions, right, or layers to reality that are intersecting, and we have different theories of how that might work. You could operate with something like string theory or quantum loop gravity. And the idea is that there actually is demonstrated in science an odd bias towards things that are modeled with concrete elements, like a string, right, is a thing, whereas a loop is this sort of like frilly, disembodied energy that scientists don't really like that. Right? So we're going to see even weird sorts of biases in this sense, right? And the idea is that the scientific method cannot filter those out. And so because of that, not only is real science actually biased, it ends up being a reflection of a very particular bias, specifically biases that have been associated with masculinity, right, as we saw. Being rational, not having an emotional state, right, not engaging in anything with any other part of the body except for the brain, right, these types of ideas. And because real science is going to be biased in this way, it will promote and protect its existing status quo, right, often for, again, because it's sort of self-justifying or just simply out of an appeal to tradition. Okay, so how is science a reflection of male emotions? Well, according to Jagger, there are two kinds of emotions. Those that are going to be gendered more in favor of masculinity, which, as we'll see, we unfortunately associate masculine emotions more with aggression, right, and confidence, being firm, right, these types of emotional states, whereas we are going to associate different types of emotions with women.